ظاهرين على الحق. They are clearly upon the truth. لعدوهم قاهرين. A thorn in the side of their enemies. لا يضرهم من خذلهم ولا من خالفهم. They're undeterred by those who have betrayed them and those who have waged war upon them. And they will be that way until the command of Allah comes. وهم كذلك, and they'll remain that way. SubhanAllah, a few days ago I was thinking about this. This is the first time I thought about this hadith this way. And perhaps it can be of some benefit if I can be coherent about what my thoughts are here. It's like, what if I could have those qualities? If they have those qualities, if that's what's making them so special while they're holding the fort down there, how do we manifest those qualities? ظاهرين على الحق. Unambiguous right now on the truth. This is not a time, Sheikh, this is not a time to be coward. This is not a time to be cowards. This is not a time for us to mince words. This is not a time for us to, oh yeah, we just want peace. And no, this is a time to insist that enough is enough and to not mince words at all about our dedication to the freedom of our people. And I say our people because any Muslim, anyone who cares about Palestine is a Palestinian right now. This is not something by nationality. You're just as Palestinian as I am when your heart is connected to it this way. So this is not a time for us to mince words or to be ambiguous about where we're coming from in regards to this whole thing. لِعَدُوِّهِمْ قَاهِرِينَ. Our enemies want us to get tired. That's not just true for those that are bombing our brothers and sisters. That's true for those that are trying to suppress our voices for them. They really want us to stop. لِعَدُوِّهِمْ قَاهِرِينَ. And I want to disturb them as much as possible and let them know that we're not going to stop. Like I know that, subhanAllah, there was a quote that came from the White House, Biden said that, they'll fall in line about the Muslims. Like eventually they'll forget, because that's usually what happens. They get really emotional. Time will come. The elections will come. I mean, it's me against Donald Trump. Choice is pretty clear. They'll fall in line. It's like, we're going to stay the course, inshallah. This time has to be different. This has to be different than every other thing that's happened to us in our lives. I actually do believe that. This is a change in history. This is a moment in history for all of us. This is a moment that's going to be significant on your record when you meet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. What did you do when this happened? This is a moment for us because our enemy seeks a complete erasure of our people. I mean, Netanyahu is very clear in Hebrew and even sometimes in English what he wants to do here. This is a time where we have to be steadfast. If they are لِعَدُوِّهِمْ قَاهِرِينَ فَأَنَا أَكُونْ لِعَدُوِّي قَاهِرِينَ وَعَدُوِّي عَدُوِّهِمْ. My enemy is their enemy. I'm going to continue that course. لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ مَنْ خَذَلَهُمْ وَلَا مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ. Undeterred by those who betrayed them and by those who hurt them, those who are their enemies. You and I have spoken because we have that relationship, subhanAllah. Sometimes it's annoying. It's like, why are other Muslims, why are people hurting? I'm trying to do something good here. I really want to be focused on that.
No.
Why are you putting a knife in my side and in my back? Like, let me go. Let me focus. I don't have energy. I don't want to fight Muslims right now. I really don't have any energy for this. I've got to go this way. And so this is part of that test. لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ مَنْ خَذَلَهُمْ. Well, I also need to be that way. SubhanAllah, where you tell me this all the time. Keep going. You actually use those words all the time. Keep going. Keep going. Don't worry about it. Keep going. Keep going. Someone says something nasty. Keep going. It hurts. We're human beings. But when your Muslim brother attacks you and tries to twist something inside of you, khalas, keep going. So لَا يَضُرُّهُمْ مَنْ خَذَلَهُمْ. فَبِإِذْنِllahi ta'ala, we won't be harmed by those who hurt us, even from within our community.
No.
وَلَا مَنْ خَالَفَهُمْ, or those that are our outward enemies. So we're not afraid or intimidated, nor are we deterred. So it was just subhanAllah realization a few days ago. I was like, you know what? We need to manifest those qualities. We can't keep praising Ahl Gaza for their qualities without trying to implement those qualities in our lives in whatever proportion we can that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given to us. They're not like these people just to be admired. They're these people to be followed. There's something there. There's a special ingredient. Like Sheikh, these people are awliya. These people are awliya. I mean, who can look at this man, subhanAllah, Abu Diyat, Ruh al-Ruh, who buried his granddaughter, and not say like that's not these people are awliya of Allah Azza wa Jalla.
The one who looked at his granddaughter and said, she is the soul of my soul. It's amazing what kind of an impact just that one man has transformed a long history of a stereotype against that particular look to a human look, and to a peaceful look, and to a man of leadership and faith and power and strength and justice.
I would love to see that man read Quran. I'd love to be in his living room when he's praying Qiyam al-Layl.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what he's been doing all these years to generate that, because that's something special. You don't even have to guess. You know that man is a man of Qiyam. You know that man's a man of Quran. You know that man's a man who was connected to the masajid before they were destroyed. I heard from some of the brothers even there in Gaza that he was the Nijad al-Da'wah. He would be someone that would go and call people to the masjid all the time, like tell them, come pray in the masjid, come pray in the masjid. Like, I would love to get a sneak peek into that. But I see the product, and it's pretty obvious what some of those ingredients are. So it's like, how do we bring those into our lives? So, look, am I tired? Yes, I'm tired. Am I hurting? I'm extremely hurt. Am I finding it hard to not break down and cry multiple times and just random times throughout the day? Yes. But you know what? Alhamdulillah, they're persevering. So we should persevere, inshallah ta'ala. I want to meet those people on Yawm al-Qiyamah. Some of them are gone. Sheikh, subhanAllah, Sam Abu Daqqa, who was the cameraman of Wa'al Dahdu. I was just watching the interview he was having with his, or they were having with his son. Sam
Which cameraman?
So Wa'al Dahdu, very famous. Yeah. So Wa'al was shot. He was struck, and that's why his arm is somewhat impaired now. His cameraman was shot, and they left him out to bleed. He bled to death. 6 hours, and the Israeli snipers would shoot anyone that would go try to help him. And they were interviewing his son, and his son was saying, my last conversation with him was, he was telling me, please keep up with your prayers. I want you to pray on time. Please keep up with your prayers.
His son is telling his father that.
His son is saying that his father was telling him that. Okay. The last conversation he had with his father, rahimahullah, his father telling him, do not delay your prayers. Now, I think one of the things that you and I have probably learned, and anyone that's in the field of da'wah, is sometimes the awliya don't look the part.
Yes.
They're not bearded in a thobe. Yes, they don't fit the image sometimes.
Definitely. Yes.
All right. But they truly, subhanAllah, are like Wa'al Dahdur. If you were to see him before this all went down, maybe you wouldn't think he's that great of a Muslim, right? By appearance, right? He looks like a very average, typical
like
Palestinian Amu, right? Like very typical. What's the ingredient? So this is an opportunity that Allah Azza wa Jalla is giving to each and every single one of us to try to cook up in our hearts what's clearly been cooked up in their hearts, to try to inculcate those ingredients in our own lives.
Yes.
And inshallah ta'ala, to be something special like the special people that we're seeing right
Sheikh
now.
Omar, why do you think they feel victorious despite what we see in them? To us, we see them failing, but to them, they see victory.
Imma nasr wa shahada. That's the motto. It's either victory or martyrdom. You can't lose. قتلانا في الجنة وقتلاكم في النار.
So there's a higher purpose than just mere land and soil.
You can't lose. You cannot lose when you believe in this. You can't lose. You can't contain a people in a small part of the earth that believe in a Jannah that's more vast.
They're thinking beyond this world.
You can't beat those people. They cannot lose. That is the secret.
That is the secret.
They can't lose.
Even in all of our lives, you had losses, I've had losses, Muslims and non-Muslims, people have had losses. And the thing about our hope is, well, for me, for example, and I'm sure it's the same for you, we know there is a hereafter. We know this is only the first chapter. This is just a short life, but there's something else. So it's not the end. And we don't hook our hearts onto a temporary world. This temporary world is going to betray you. It's been set up to break your heart. So why follow it as if it's a paradise? Sheikh Omar, are you Are you, do you encourage, for example, there's Muslims and non-Muslims around the world. We've been talking about Muslims a lot, but non-Muslims around the world are hurt as well, and they're feeling that pain and that mercy. Justice and injustice is a moral principle of every human being. And many of them have gone out in protests. And do you support these protests? Do you think they're working? Do you think, because you're talking about voices, so protests and social media advocacy for justice, do you think it's all really working?
Sheikh, if the only thing that came out of these protests were that the people of Palestine did not feel alone, then to me it's worth it. I'm so serious. SubhanAllah, like the fact that Ahl Gaza thank the rest of the world for going out in the streets and say, please keep it up. Need your solidarity. The fact that they don't feel alone. Feeling alone is a miserable feeling. To feel isolated in your pain. To feel like people have forgotten you. And when we look in the seerah of the Prophet ﷺ, this is a profound concept. Like, you're not forgotten. You're not alone. SubhanAllah, I was reflecting on this, actually in some talks I just gave, and I don't even remember which convention. I think it was the mass convention. I just came from Chicago, Sheikh. But it was interesting. In like the loneliest episodes of the Prophet ﷺ, it's as if there's one person that's there always. So, as-Safa, when everyone turned their backs, it was little Ali, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, right? It says, Ya Rasulullah, I've got you. You know, I'm with you, Ya Rasulullah. Sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ali radiallahu anhu was there. In Ta'if, as alone as he was, Allah put Zayd radiallahu anhu. Zayd ibn Haritha was there. When they dumped the guts on his back, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Fatima radiallahu anha, even though it's painful, she was there. Right? There's always just like one person there. It's like, I want to be that one person that's there for the people of Gaza. If it's even one person, subhanAllah. But just for, even if they know through us that they're not forgotten, that we're going to do everything we can, even if they feel the solidarity. To me, that's worth it. But it is worth, strategically, any political analyst would say that this has been a strategic nightmare for Israel. It's been a PR nightmare for them. And the public opinion is shifting rapidly around the world, especially with young people who are less hostage to legacy media outlets and traditional forms of media that are much more suppressive in regards to the Palestinian narrative. So our strength is in our numbers. It is taking to the streets. It is in the boycotts. It is in these multiple forms of little advocacy. We don't have the super lobby, the super PAC, but we do have the super numbers.
Yes.
And so the little efforts accumulated are clearly leading to a massive shift in the global sense, inshallah ta'ala, for the Palestinian people. And bid'nillahi ta'ala are a step closer to complete liberation.
Why do you think everyone's standing up, ya Sheikh Omar? It's not just Muslims, non-Muslims, everybody. We haven't seen this on such a large scale. I mean, why do you think they're all standing up? What are they trying to, what's moving them?
So, like you said, there's fitra, rahma wal-adl, mercy and justice.
Mercy and justice in the hearts of everybody.
There's our fitra. And so
they can see.
You can't compete with 20,000 dead people. You can't, you can say all the lies in the world. You can't keep pulling the cover over people's eyes and hiding all of these atrocities. People are not stupid. People see it. And you keep discrediting yourself with the lies, and the IDF is probably the most discredited body in the world at this point. In fact, the entire Israeli government, right? I mean, it's a discredited body. I mean, they've lied so many times now and been caught in their lies. Even to where like New York Times and Washington Post are like doing investigations. Like these are outlets that used to just parrot IDF propaganda without any type of critical insight. Now they are actually doing investigations on the claims, lie. But you know what's definitely true are these dead people. You're starving a population of over 2 million people. White phosphorus bombs, hellfire missiles, dumb bombs, they call them, indiscriminate bombing on civilian populations. You know, when I really knew the narrative had turned, I'll tell you exactly where it was. Wolf Blitzer, who is a Zionist, you know, journalist at CNN. I don't know if he claims to be a Zionist, but I'll just say, I mean, his coverage has always been extremely sympathetic to the Israeli narrative. And he's interviewing an Israeli commander, and they had dropped a missile on a refugee camp. I forget which one. It's what, 2 a.m. here,
Yes.
where we are right now, subhanAllah. So I forget which refugee camp it was, but they dropped a missile on a refugee camp, killed over 400 people. And, you know, the IDF commander says, thinking that, no, you know, he's not going to be challenged. He says, yeah, well, there may have been a Hamas commander there. So Wolf Blitzer responds, even he gets shocked. And he goes, so you're saying you dropped a bomb on 400 civilians because there might have been a Hamas commander? You're not even sure? Like, this is getting so ridiculous that even the traditional outlets of ridiculousness are starting to question how ridiculous it is coming from them. The narrative is shifting. It's working. We're putting pressure, alhamdulillah. We can't let our governments just continue to operate business as usual. Wherever you are, you have to do your part. You have to obstruct. No one can go back to business as usual while genocide is unfolding. You'll be asked about this. You know, what did you do? This was happening in front of your own 2 eyes. Did you just pretend like nothing was happening, just go to work and live your life? We have to obstruct until it stops, inshallah ta'ala. So our strength is in our numbers, bidhnillahi ta'ala, and hopefully in our resilience to keep it going.